Once celebrated as the so-called king of South Beach, Eduardo Masferrer found himself at the center of a spiraling downfall. Convicted in 2008 of orchestrating a $20 million bank fraud and a spinning web of deceit to cover his tracks. The jury, after only a few hours of deliberation, returned to the Miami federal courtroom with verdicts that would forever alter Masferrer's life. The 12 jurors, avoiding eye contact, sat quietly as a court deputy read out 16 guilty counts against the former chairman and CEO of Hamilton Bank. Masferrer's meteoric rise in the world of finance, which had once made him a respected figure amongst Miami's banking circles, was now facing a stunning reversal. His initial trial had ended in a mistrial, the jury hopelessly deadlocked. But this time, the outcome was decisive. Masferrer faced a potential 300 years in federal prison, along with tens of millions of dollars in fines and restitution. Eduardo Masferrer's journey from a successful Panamanian banker to the Miami banking mogul began in 1989 when he took control of Hamilton Bank. Under his leadership, the bank became a powerhouse in South Florida's trade finance sector. However, the empire Masferrer built began to crumble as he ventured into high-risk, high-yield securities in a volatile, developing market. The case against him hinged on a scheme involving the sale of problematic Russian loans. In September of 1999, the OCC, which is in charge of regulating banks, uncovered a series of suspicious transactions. These transactions, known as adjusted price trades, involved the bank selling Russian loans at prices above their fair market value and simultaneously purchasing Latin American debt securities also at inflated prices. Although these transactions aren't illegal per se, under generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP, as you might have learned in financial accounting, any resulting losses must be recognized at the time of the exchange. However, the bank failed to do so. The transactions included the sale of 4 Russian loans in September of 1998, totaling $20 million to West Merchant Bank and the Standard Bank of London, while simultaneously purchasing Latin American debt securities from these banks. The bank overpaid by approximately $22 million for these debt securities, and despite this, the bank did not recognize the losses from these transactions as they're required to by GAAP. Through a complex process of swapping these loans, Masferrer hid the bank's mounting losses while securing a $1 million bonus for himself. And all the while, Hamilton Bank continued to report impressive profits to its shareholders. But federal regulators were beginning to suspect something was amiss. By 2002, their suspicions led to a federal seizure of the bank, which was ultimately shut down, leaving shareholders with nothing and total losses reaching $160 million. In 2004, Masferrer was indicted on charges of fraud and conspiracy alongside the bank's former president as well as its former CFO. While both the former president and CFO pled guilty to lesser charges and testified against their former boss, Masferrer maintained his innocence throughout both trials. Despite his defense team's arguments, which included claims that the Russian loan sales were legitimate and unrelated transactions, the prosecution presented a compelling case. Witness after witness testified that the loan swaps were interconnected, directly contradicting Masferrer's narrative. Assistant U.S. Attorney Andre Levi, in his closing arguments, dismissed Masferrer's denials as implausible, stating, "To this day, Mr. Masferrer is the only person in the world who said that these were not related transactions." As Masferrer stood in the courtroom, his wife Mara Acosta and son Eduardo by his side, the reality of his situation set in. U.S. Marshals were ready to escort him into the federal detention center, where he would await sentencing. His attorneys vowed to appeal the verdict, arguing that crucial evidence had been excluded in the second trial. The evidence in question included the devalued Russian loans and Masferrer's charitable donations, which the defense team argued were relevant to counterclaims that his actions were driven purely by greed. As the courtroom emptied, the sense of finality lingered. Masferrer, once a pillar of the community and a symbol of immigrant success, now faced the grim reality of a long prison sentence, price of a high-stakes gamble that had gone disastrously wrong. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys like videos about white-collar crime, CEOs, business, finance, hedge funds, I'm going to be having new videos like this every week, so go ahead, hit the button to subscribe, leave a like, comment down below what you guys think about the whole story, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.